Alright, so here we are. This is actually known as Cocina. So this is my grandmother's restaurant up in Corpus. Yeah, she's a professional chef. It's me in the background there. We're talking shop. So basically we took a little trip up here beforehand just to kind of get the word.
Pero hoy lo va a cambiar.
As you can see here, we're just picking out the meats. You said specifically it's good to have pork carnitas, like pork carnitas it says, but personally any pork shoulder we do just chop it up and make sure it's not too fatty. You know, you want to get everything out, you gotta make sure you clean it, rinse all that. Seasonings of Cochinita. This is achiote, and so basically this seasoning is what is required to give Cochinita that color, that big red color. So yeah, so basically you just want to make sure you have some achiote, some garlic, as well as some chicken bouillon, which you can see she's grabbing there.
About an hour left on that pressure cooker. Just double checking to make sure the pressure was high. But yeah, I just gotta put it on that high pressure for about an hour, and then we're set. So
Over to the HEB, looking for some red onion, looking for some garlic. Found that. Alrighty, now we have to find our pork ourselves, and we don't have the same type of pork, so we're not in the same area, but we ended up getting just a pork shoulder, like I said, and chopping it up. A lot of people do use pork tenderloin. That's also kind of one of our secret ingredients right there, that bone broth. A lot of people do use pork tenderloin. That's my version of the achiote right there you guys are seeing. It's actually a different brand. This is the one that I had locally here.
one fat ice cream scooper. The salsa that goes on top. We're on the right track. Oh, that's potent. Yeah, like 25 minutes? We're around 25 minutes. Let's see what's up.
You are going to want to pull out that meat and put it in a separate container. And this is a very important process right here. You want to make sure you pull out the meat, but not too much of the juice, because you want a good meat to juice ratio. So after you pull the meat out, you want to go ahead and macerate it. She uses a special tool right here, which you really didn't get a really good shot of, unfortunately, but it is kind of almost a necessity. When I do try it myself, you guys will see the difference in consistency, but a big key of consistency is adding the right amount of broth. You don't want it to be too much, too brothy, but as you can tell, she does need to be quite wet. So we're going to go ahead and package it up and let it sit for a little while. Everything we're making right now tastes much better once it's sat for a little bit, kind of marinated, stewing in its own juices. There we have the salsa, the onions, and the cochinita. Here we have our version of the cochinita that we were making out here. Same process, we poured it all in the container. As you can tell, those are our chunks of meat. And we're ripping it up here with spoons, and as well as I think we do use forks eventually, but as you can tell, mine's a little bit fattier, and it's just not breaking down the same way because they don't have that same device to macerate it. I believe a potato masher would work similarly, but of course needs to be a little more fine. Here she is making the onions. So the onions, we're going to start off with cutting a whole red onion. We're going to do a little batch of pepper, and she put a big scoop again of water, but that one's up to y'all's discretion, however much you'd like. After that, you're going to need at least 2 fat limes worth of juice. Look at that. Wow, it's beautiful. So after that, you're going to want to toss that in a bag in a container. container that's kind of airtight, and make sure you seal it up so it does marinate. Yeah, those things burned. So here we're adding a little bit more than 2 limes worth of juice. We're adding a little bit extra just to make it very juicy. Really like that lime flavor and heavy. So you gotta toss in the seasonings. We kept tossing in the seasonings, adding more lime juice to get the right color. Again, you do as you want. You don't want to go over seasoning it. If you know, I understand if you don't want to over season it at home, but over here we like a lot of seasoning. Toss that in a container, mix her up. And again, you want to let that sit for a while. I'd preferably put it in the fridge. So onions done with the marinade. You can't have cochinita without the salsa. Next, we're gonna move on to the salsa itself. You're gonna want to chop up that washed pound of tomatillos as well as about 1/5 of an onion. Throw that onion in the skillet first thing. Let that thing saute a little bit. That's when you want to toss in a nice fat scoop of garlic as well. And go ahead and toss in your desired amount of chile de árbol. And that steam is going to rehydrate those chilies. So once you do have that for a while, they have changed colors. You can see here, it's actually a lighter color. You want to look for that kind of lighter color. It's okay to have a couple of these dark green ones, as you can tell in there too, but that's what we're looking for. So once you sat for about 10-15 minutes, not too long, you're gonna want to put her in the blender, and she'll turn this beautiful orange color. Make sure you taste it, make sure you have a nice spice. Don't forget to put some chicken bouillon as soon as you're done blending. Get that nice level of salt you want in there.
Those are the fixings. Check. Yeah, now look at that. Kind of turn a little more.
Alright, basically once you're done cooking up all this food, you're going to want to plate it properly. You're going to start with 1 tortilla. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's prepackaged or not. And then you're going to want to put some of that cochinita on there. So that's basically going to be our finished product once you're there. It's going to be some cochinita on a tortilla, a warm tortilla with some of those pickled onions and some of that nice salsa. Oh my god, it doesn't get any better than this though. Make sure y'all try it, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the group chat or whatever. But if y'all do want to try it for yourselves, it's meant to be, you're always welcome to go to Nona's in Corpus.
Yeah, that's where
one location is right now, and you can get the authentic recipe yourself if you're not really liking how we made it here. But, enjoy, guys.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. Pretty simple.